Welcome to TalkersToGeeks.com. Justin here, and today we're going to be talking about Sonic Frontiers. This was reviewed and recorded on my Nintendo Switch Lite, so think of it as a Switch Lite review. As always, I give you a brief synopsis of the story, so here we go. In Sonic Frontiers, Sonic's longtime nemesis Dr. Eggman discovers an ancient technology on the Starfall Islands and installs his AI program Sage to hack in and take over. But there's more to this technology than he realizes, and unintended consequences immediately come to bear. Sonic must race against time to discover the truth and save his friends and maybe himself at the same time. Story wise, this was a very solid story, and it's actually a little bit more darker and kind of melancholic type of story of Sonic. And I like the characterizations that they did here for Amy, Tails, Sonic, Knuckles. It's a very fun story as well. They made great use of the Tales of the Chaos Emeralds and Supersonic as well. Overall, really did enjoy the story, and it did well, did Sonic justice. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. As I stated in my early of this review, this is completely Switch Lite review. So how does the gameplay hold up on the Switch Lite? It's wonderful, man. I had so much fun. This is the most fun I've had with a Sonic game since Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. And that doesn't, I'm not counting the 2D entries like Sonic Mania, but as far as 3D Sonics go, I put it up there with that. Gameplay is an explorational free roam type of thing. I wouldn't call it an open world type of game because there's not much that people to talk to and interact with. I like to think of it as an open zone. You have 5 islands that you have to explore and things that you have to do in order to move on to progress to the next island. Some of the things that you have to do is unlocking these keys that will grant you access to the Chaos Emeralds for you to fight these things, these creatures they call Titans. And these Titans are what you have to destroy in order to save your friends and also unlock to the next island. Pretty straightforward, and there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of exploration, a lot of secrets, a lot of things that you have to do with power-ups, but there's also more to this game than this. For those who are wondering, like, oh, is this just exploration? No, it's not just exploration because there's also combat that you have to do as well. And the combat here, I absolutely love because it offers a little bit more of a variety. Now, if you're used to the old school Sonic where all Sonic has to do is just jump on a guy and he destroys them, not here. You have combos, you have lock-ons, you have to parry, you have to dodge, and as the game progresses, you unlock skills that will benefit Sonic. You get to upgrade his speed, you get to upgrade his strength. If you look on the lower left of my screen here, you see that it says you see that there's a sword there. You'll see that the level of the speed. So you level of speed, shield, the damage that he takes, all that comes into play. And as you progress and as you continue to level up Sonic, he unlocks more new abilities. And these abilities are going to be very, very useful when you're facing the Titans because this game, as fun as it is, does get challenging, especially in the epic boss battles, which I had such a blast getting my ass kicked and just playing it on the hard level, easy level, normal level, just to see the difference. The game does bring the heat, and I really do appreciate what they did with unique boss battles, such as fighting one of these Titans here, Azura, as you have to figure out how to get up there, how to destroy. Do I have enough skill levels? Is my skill strong enough to do it? Because there's times I encountered an enemy and my hits wasn't all the way up, or I wasn't powerful enough. So I found myself taking long time, probably 20 minutes, just pounding away trying to get this enemy down. But what's also unique about this game is that you have a wide range of puzzles, which is something I did not expect to see in a Sonic game, but is a welcome addition to it as well. That you have puzzles that actually makes you think. Some of them are really easy, like such as like running like a hamster type of wheel, but you have puzzles, unique puzzles like this when you have to match the lights on certain areas to make sure you can unlock a certain area as well. So they did a great job of giving you a more variety of things that you have to do. But for those old school Sonic fans, you do get those old school type of gameplays with the cyberspace. And cyberspace here is where you're going to be unlocking those keys I talked about earlier. Now, for those who are was waiting for things like this, like, okay, where's those levels like Green Hill Zone and things like that? You have levels like that within the cyberspace. I would say the only drawback with it is that the cyberspace runs a little bit short. You could really beat this like probably in 1 minute, 2 minutes top. It's not a long type of level, but it is a nice break from the open zone aspect of the game. So they have challenges that you have to do and unlock. And the more you unlock those challenges and complete them, like such as reach the goal, S rank, you have to clear with certain rings and get all red stars. This will unlock more keys and also lock the Chaos Emeralds as well. Also, Sonic has a skill set here as you progress and you obtain more skills, as I alluded to earlier. You have attacks such as Grand Slam, Cyclone Kick. Sonic will be able to stay in the air longer by doing air tricks as he jumps. These are going to be useful as you progress through the game and through the story because, like I said before, the bosses can get a little bit tough. And it's a challenge depending on what level you are. Even on easy, I found myself having a little bit of challenge. Now, one thing I really did enjoy as well is the islands are big. And you have to unlock the map by doing side quests, doing missions, and as you progress, your map gets unlocked and you get to discover more secrets that are going to aid you in the game. There also is some fun aspects too. You also get to do some little fishing. It wouldn't be an open world game without some type of fishing. And here is Sonic. You're able to fish, but these fishing games is not just a break from everything that you do, but you're also able to unlock points, unlock skills, and especially in the first island, you get to unlock Amy hearts, which is going to be used so you can help and talk to Amy. There's a lot of things that you can do here. So they have some really good, decent puzzles and side quests, which I thought worked very well for the game. Now let's talk about the graphics here. As I said before, this was recorded on my Switch Lite, so this is my actual gameplay. And I am not a graphics whore. Like, I don't need spectacular graphics in order to enjoy a game. For the Switch Lite and for the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode, I think this game looks great. Yes, there is a little bit of, you can see where it doesn't look as great as I will see, as you see with the waterfall, you can see a little pixelation as the water's going. You can see like a little dip in that frame rate over there. And as I pan over here, it doesn't look as good as you keep looking further beyond. The game tends to pop into the environment as you go. And it really didn't bother me personally because of the concept of the game. I just like to think of it as he's in cyberspace, and as he's moving around, the world is loading itself. But there are moments where the game looks so gorgeous on the Switch Lite, as you can see right here. When the game is bright and colorful and beautiful, it looks phenomenal on the Switch Lite handheld mode. That scene right there that you just saw, I thought it was probably one of the best cinematographies, or just the way the game looks here. This is where the game looks the most beautiful, is when they really capture that bright, vibrant colors of Sonic's world, and I thought it would work very well.
Love. An emotional status too vague and varied in its definition.
Music and sound, and first the voice acting is top. Voice acting was great. Really enjoyed the cast of this one. The music, it's a very different approach. I like the music here because it kind of has this dark ambience type of soundtrack to it, but there's nothing I would say. It's a good soundtrack, but it's nothing that I would say is going to be as memorable as obviously the first Sonic 1, 2, and 3, or even Sonic Adventures 2 with Follow Me, Set Me Free song. But the music does very well setting the tone, and it works for the type of world that the developers and people who worked on the game wanted to describe. And it does a really good job of really keeping me in that mood. It gets exciting and action-packed and epic when it needs to be. It gets a little bit dark and moody depending on the scene where it needs to be. So it works very well, but I wouldn't say there's like any really stand out tracks that will be up there like, oh my God, this is something I really need to get. for my Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, I gotta download this song, or I need to find this song. It's not a disappointing soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack, and it works for the world and the mood and tone that they were going for. So I will definitely give the soundtrack a thumbs up. Voice acting's the thumbs up as well. This is a fun soundtrack to listen to. It kept me pumped when I needed to get pumped. It kept me thinking when I needed to keep thinking. And the emotional scenes and emotional beats, because there are some dramatic moments in here, it works for the game, and I really did enjoy it. So my final thoughts here, I'm going to give Sonic Frontiers a B+. Buy it. It is time to return. Sonic is back in form. Like I said, I never had this much fun with Sonic since Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. And like I said, I'm not counting Mania because that was 2D. For 3D Sonic-wise, this is the most enjoyable I've had in a very long time. It's a really good story. I really love what they did with the Chaos Emeralds. I really love the use of Supersonic, and it made it sense of why he goes to Supersonic mode, because he has to go against those Titans. It's a very solid game. Yes, it has some hiccups in here and there. It could be a little bit, I would say one of my gripes will probably be the pop-ins with the graphics. Controls at times when you're doing the boost sometimes could get a little bit wonky, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not a game breaker. Voice acting's good. Music is good. It's a solid Sonic game. I think Sonic fans will really be pleased. I think you're going to be pleased with the characterization of Amy, Tails. It's a fun game. It's time to go back. Sonic is back in a full form. Welcome back, Mr. Hedgehog. We are happy to have you here. This is Justin from UntitledGeeks.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Peace.